Last time on Kerbal Space Program. Okay. So here we are, our wonderful Tier 0 Space Center. Or is this Tier 0? Ah, darn it. Well, okay. Our booster blew up because, like I was worried about, the parachute wasn't strong enough. But Jeb lived. And hey, we can do more science over here. Wow, that's crazy. Look at that. And doing it while you're landed is worth 0.3, so you get 3.9 science. Amazing. So anyway, got money, Val's back, got tons of science. And here, now we have all of these contracts that we can take on. I don't want to do any of these because go to the tracking station, see if it shows us. If we take these, they're going to have us fly out to these places and do science at those locations. And those are kind of a pain in the butt to do because we have rockets and we don't necessarily control perfectly where we're going and we don't control how much time we spend there because we can necessarily only have so much fuel. If I was having jet engines, I could build a plane and fly it over there. The level 1 runway is totally crappy, but we could do it. So instead of these, this one is kind of okay, but we need to do a liquid fuel engine because we need to be able to control our speed. These two are very tempting though. And I especially like this one because the T-15 Valiant is going to be a small liquid engine. Although I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, because we don't have fuel tanks. Okay. So, we need to test something at the launch site. You can imagine how difficult that is. We literally just need to test something while on the launch pad. There. Does that sound hard to you? It does not sound hard to me. Actually, we could upgrade this. Interesting. I might, but before we do that, let's grab survivability. And now we have two more things that we could unlock. We don't quite have the science for either of them, but here we go. More reaction wheels, more wings. That's interesting. This is the one I'm really interested in. We have a capacitor. Okay, we have an antenna. Fine. Have multiple antennas. There we go. Here we get a materials bay. We get a drone course so I can fly these inane missions without crew, even though I won't because they're only Kerbals and they give more science because they can go EVA and say, hey, I'm on the ground here at the shore. Look how scientifically important that is. We get a battery. I don't think we need the power right now. But we get the materials bay, which gives quite a lot of science actually. We get experiment storage units, so we can reset and rerun the experiments if we had a scientist to reset them. So I think we want to go for this next if we can. But maybe along the way we should get this, just so we can use bigger rockets. I think we can get one more flight out of what we actually have, though. And yeah, I'm going to upgrade mission control. It's going to cost a lot of money, but now we can have more contracts active. So we can look at all of these things that we want to use. This one we literally only need to use while in flight. So that's very tempting. We need to test the Mark 16 parachute. I'll take it, but we probably can't complete it right now. Test this on a suborbital trajectory. I can take that. And I'll just grab this because we're going to go to orbit eventually. So, what is it we need to do? Go suborbital. You know what? We need to test the Orion while suborbital. I'm going to take a guess here. This is the onion, right? Yeah. We don't have fuel, so... Yeah. How far will this take us? If we stage it correctly. 2024. Oh yeah, we can totally do this. Okay. Brilliant. So we are going to go suborbital for the first time. Aren't you guys excited? And along the way, we want to test these two engines. That's going to be really stupid. We want to press the test button on this. I don't think we're going to be able to test this, but we can try it. Oh, I don't know if we can hit this altitude, but we can try that too, I guess. Do I have a... This is going to look really stupid, but I could do this. Or actually... I could do this. There you go. I just want to move these down a little bit. So this looks really dumb. Obviously. But you can see what I'm going for here is boosters on the side of the rocket. Genius, I know. They both have the same listed ISP, the same specific impulse. So neither of them is any more or less efficient. But that means wrap fuel feels complicated. I installed a mod that we have real fuel instead of the game's generic fuels, which brings us the wonderful questions of things like how many times can an engine ignite and how many residuals does it have. I might actually get rid of this because I think this conflicts with some other stuff and I don't remember why it's installed, but that's what this is. But anyway, our plan is to fire this and try to get some additional altitude. Yes. Does this list burn time? No. This has gimbals. Oh. Brilliant. I'm just trying to find something that will get us a little bit higher so that we can burn above the altitude requirement for this. Okay, you gotta love this thrust to rate ratio difference. At full power, 138. At 0 power, 1.38. I feel like don't make a difference. Because it's 40 kilonewtons and this provides 190. Okay. But that's okay, because really I just want to get a lot of fuel on here and get as high as I can. But before we do any of that, we're going to do something even dumber. Which is, if you remember, we need to test those two parts. And here's how we're going to do them. There you go. Do you feel stupid yet? Because I do. So basically how this works is we're going to go to the launch pad, test these two engines, then we're going to ditch them. We're going to fly up and try to break 250,000 meters. May or may not work. And yeah, on the way back down, we'll test this onion reentry module. And hopefully we'll get this. Don't think we will. But that will complete this contract, this contract, this contract. This contract if we can get it, and this contract. Which should be awfully lucrative. And along the way, we are going to bring some science. So I want to use 2 of these mystery goo units. I want to test 1 on the launch pad. No, I want to test 1 in space and 1 in the upper atmosphere. I'm going to bring 2 barometers. Probably the same deal. I want to bring 2 thermometers. Again, probably the same deal. And we'll hopefully get a crew report in space and land somewhere different for Jeb to give us a report. And Jeb will be the first Kerbal to go to space. And hang on, I'm just going to move all the parachutes down here. I don't know if that's going to arm them or try to deploy them. That's kind of annoying. And my hope means arm, but let's see how well this madness works. I think it'll get us suborbital. I don't think it's going to get us 250. But anyway, so our first step. Stay open, please. Why did that... I'm 90% sure I dragged them. There we go. We have tested those 2 engines. Yay. And now we can leave them behind and ignite the other engines so we can go places. And because we're just trying to get above the atmosphere, we are going to just fly straight up this time. Hello? That did not work the way I wanted it to. Please stop. Okay. Okay, these gimbals suck. Okay. See, we're learning stuff today. So I was hoping these would actually do stuff. But obviously they did not. I mean, they're providing us... I'm pretty sure if we take them off, they're providing us a lot of upwards momentum. But they are not... Yeah, let's add more. They are not doing the job that we want them to do, which is pushing us upwards into the air. We also had a problem where I think they got caught on the engines. Not really sure. I mean, okay, we can fix this problem, but it's gonna look really derpy because we have to do this. Yeah, that looks kind of dumb. We could also fix the problem doing this sort of. Oops. Fix the problem doing, there we go, something like this and move them up. Also looks derpy. So we may just need to stop it. You know what? We'll test. This shit is easy to test. We don't have to do it all at once. We're gonna stop trying to micromanage it. You saw it, we can test them at the same time. I'm gonna stop trying to do everything in one flight. There. And yeah. This time, just in case, we're going to add some fins. And we are going to angle them a little bit. The idea is... not quite that much. The idea is that the fins will spin us up so that we go straight. And that's maybe not... no, that's not a good idea because of SAS. Okay, fine. The idea there would work, except would be fighting ourselves because these would be trying to counter that rule. Which would, honestly, usually I would turn that off because you can control which way they can gimbal to control the vehicle, but let's be honest, if it's rolling, I'm going to have a hard time clicking on these things and I'm going to look foolish. So let's not do that. Vehicle assembly building cannot support anything over 30 parts. Screw you then. Oh, piece of crap. Okay, hang on. So I guess this should be 27 parts. Yeah, okay, fine. So we can only have 6 of these, not 8, because I haven't paid to upgrade the VAB yet. Whatever, pretty sure this will still work. If this doesn't work, what we need to do is switch to the other command module, but then we can't test it while in flight. So we'll need to do that on another flight too. But this time we actually fly straight, so who cares? Look at our beautiful fire coming out the bottom as we slowly move upwards. And actually, we can't get anywhere. Wow. These SRBs suck. There's no way this is accurate. It's saying burn time 6 minutes. Thrust to weight ratio 2, 500 meters per second. That doesn't compute. Go home, Kerbal Space Program, you're drunk. Interesting, yeah. Behold the beauty. Go up, and we see some lame attempt at having cities with lights. I need to fix that because that looks so lame. Oh, yeah. Oops. Well. I guess no matter what, we're not testing this now. I did not expect that to include the decoupler part. But anyway... let's just casually do some science. Now that we're heading upwards. I think we're going to be wildly suborbital, actually. Okay, that's nice. If we were actually in control of this thing, because run test apparently means run the decoupler, which I didn't know, then we could probably actually test that thing. But now it's just going to spiral off into the distance, and I look stupid. And you can see, even though we lost control, we're going to go pretty far up. So I can probably just refly this thing to get that test done. But look at that. We're suborbital now. We are now in space. Space in Kerbal Space Program, of course, begins at the altitude of 70 kilometers. So, and let's just collect all of this science. Now that we can. Actually, screw this crew port. I want one in space. It seems we are very much in space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us. Thank you, Jeb, for your wonderful words of true wisdom. Would you stop spinning? Okay, I'm gonna cheat. This is pissing me off. So, Kerbal Space Program does not track rotation when you use time warp in space. When you use time warp in space, you turn physics off. So I just made it stop doing its thing. And I'm arming the parachute so that when we're low enough, it can just deploy on its own, and I don't have to remember it. Because that sounds nice. Look at all these world records we've broken. I like how these are different. We've reached space and we have gone where space is. Those are very, very different, yes. But we have done all sorts of wonderful things. Thank you. We have tested the reentry module, which was stupid in retrospect. God damn it. And we have reached for the stars by briefly dipping our noses above the atmosphere. There is no such thing as the final frontier. Except there is, because space is the final frontier and we are in it. Hello? Okay, who writes this stuff? But we are also going to land somewhere very far west of the Space Center. Because west is that runway that you can see down there runs east to west. Or west to east, I guess, depending on how you view it. So you can see we're heading north of it and very west. So we're probably going to land in the highlands around here, if I'm remembering my biomes correctly, which I might not be. But anyway, the question now is, did we go so high that Jeb burns up and dies horribly in the atmosphere, which would be kind of funny. Because I have no control of this, and if re-entry burns up this parachute, Jeb dies. I know, wonderful engineering, right? But I don't think that's going to happen because I think we're going to settle in a little bit more upward motion like this. Maybe. Yeah. See, because we've attached all this stuff to the top, there's more drag on the top of the capsule than on the bottom, so that end wants to point away from where we're going. So this capsule naturally wants to point parachute up, which is a good thing. Because if the parachute is up, it will not be facing down, and down is where the atmosphere is, which means down is where the hot is. But that doubly doesn't matter because we're not going remotely fast enough to get hot. Oh. But thank you, the default comparison on this parachute is such that we can't actually get off. Yeah, great. Thanks. Why is it configured that way? Why do I do that here? Hang on. Okay. Screw this. Give me a second. This real shoot is pissing me off. Officially. Hang on. I'm going to stop the recording. Please do not roll. Okay. Please stop it with the rolling. Why are we rolling up? So I may have screwed up by trying to be cheap out and do this instead of using a pilot, which can have some control of the vehicle. I also appear to have accidentally launched this into space. I think.